I'm just gonna be honest with you, even if you're healthy, that baby could have shifted your hormones and now your hormones are out of whack and you're losing hair because of hormonal reasons. What you guys need to understand about what I just said is that you can't just take a whole bunch of pills together and just hope that it's just gonna do what it's supposed to do. Hey baddie, yes baddie, I'm talking to you. Yes, you're on this video because you're experiencing postpartum hair loss, aka your baby snatched your edges, and you're on this video because you're trying to figure out how to fix this problem. Don't worry, sweetie, we're gonna get into all of that. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what postpartum hair loss is, just in case you're not really sure. You just know that you just had a baby and people told you that your hair is gonna fall out, and you told them that they're lying and that they're hating and it's not gonna fall out, and then it did, right? So we're gonna talk about what postpartum hair loss is, what you need to do to treat it, and you know how to just grow that hair back, you know, because it's here's the good news, spoiler alert, it is temporary, especially if you're healthy. Now, if you're not healthy and there's underlying issues going on, that's another story. But if you're a fairly healthy girl, woman, you know, beauty, baddie, then don't worry, you're gonna get your hair back. And that's why I called you a baddie, and you guys are my baddies here at Hairscripts by Bevy, because regardless of what age you are, regardless if you got a head full of hair or if you chose to go bald, or if life situation, circumstance allowed you to go bald, you are still a baddie, honey. Anyway, check me out. So let's jump into the video. Hey baddies, so it's your girl Bevy, and listen, if you don't know, I had to interrupt what you were watching because I have to tell you, there's a lot of y'all that are new to this channel and I have to put you onto game. If your hair is thinning, if you have thinner hair, if your hair is shedding, falling, breaking, you cannot figure out what's going on. Wash day sucks, your ponytails are getting thinner, excuse me, and your parts are widening. Listen, you need to you need to run, not walk to the description box and get your hands on the Herscrips medicated hair growth serums. My baddies have tried it and they spoke and they love it, okay? You cannot find this anywhere else. You can't get it at Target. You can't get it at Wally's World. You cannot get it at Ulta Sephora, Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. You cannot get it anywhere, okay? You can only get it at herscriptsrx.com in the description box. Why? Because I have 10 plus years of experience in the healthcare and pharmaceutical industries. I understand drug formulations. I understand ingredients that are clinically proving to be effective, to work, to do the things that needs to be done. Your girl was diagnosed with androgenetic alopecia, aka female pattern hair loss, and I struggled with thinning. And my hair is like, I should have had it out, but listen, it's thriving. So if you want thriving hair, if you tried everything, you tired of wasting your money, that's it. I am your angel. I am your fairy hairy godmother. Go down to the description box, girl, and boys and gals and everybody. Go down to the description box and get your hands on the Herscrips medicated hair growth serum. Don't let me say it again. Your hair after having a baby. The reason why you're losing your hair, could be several different reasons, right? Now, considering that you are healthy, let's start with that, is number one, right? You can be, after having a baby, that's a stressful situation. Naturally, your hair sheds excessively, and it's called telogen effluvium. Telogen effluvium, right? I feel like Mary Poppins. Telogen effluvium is excessive hair loss, excessive hair shedding, and that comes from any traumatic experience after any stressful event, okay? Trauma could be surgery, it could be COVID-19, you know, it could be something that was traumatic to your body. It really impacted, or it really activated your fight and flight, right? Your fight and flight response, and your body went into shock. You may not see the hair loss immediately. You may not see the shedding, immediately, but over the course of 3 months or so, that's when you're gonna start to see the shedding. That's when it's gonna really start to fall. When you're washing your hair, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, what did I just do? You didn't just do anything. That shedding has been happening already over time. It was just sitting on your head, right? Because that's the catagen phase of the hair loss cycle, of the hair growth cycle. There's the anagen, the catagen, and the telogen. Anagen is when your hair is growing, like excessively, like it's growing. It's like, yo, we decide that we're gonna do what we wanna do. We're extra motivated, we wanna grow. When it's catagen, it's the resting hair phase, right? resting itch phase where I'm chilling. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not growing. I'm not falling. I'm just here. Leave me alone. I'm squatting right now. And then telogen is shedding, right? Shedding is what it is shedding. And it's a natural response. It's a natural part of the hair growth cycle. Keep in mind that on your scalp, different follicles could be at different stages. Hence why all your hair don't fall out at one time and all your hair don't grow at one time. So all of that is natural, but telogen effluvium is when you experience something traumatic, and instead of having the normal shed, you're shedding a little bit more because your body had to really sustain its organs and everything else, and the hair is just kind of like, it's just an afterthought. It's a non-factor, right, to your body, right? And so that's why. So don't worry, because you can take advantage of the anagen phase to really regrow that hair back. And I'm gonna tell you how, but hold on, you gotta stick with me through the video. Right now, I'm just telling you what it is. And another thing could be nutrient deficiency, right? You are losing a lot of nutrients. Just call a spade, especially if you're nursing and that baby is just taking you for all you got. Spoiler alert, it will never stop. I have a 21-year-old, yes, I do. And they never stop taking you for all you got. They never do. And they actually get worse over time. Anyway, I'm sorry. I was triggered, okay? So let's get back to the point. The point is this, you're losing a lot of nutrients, right? And so if you're not replenishing those nutrients, what do you think is gonna happen? Nutrient deficiency is going to be definitely a culprit in hair loss, in excessive hair shedding, okay? So that's what it is in a nutshell. We're talking specifically to overall, you're healthy, you know that you're healthy, you go to your doctor, you know that there's no underlying conditions, right? And this is happening as a result of having a baby. This is really mainly the reasons why, right? So there's a ton of other reasons for a ton of other things. This is not that video. So now let's talk about how you're gonna treat that. So first things first is you wanna schedule an appointment. You wanna see a dermatologist. You wanna see a specialist, right? You wanna see a dermatologist, a trichologist, someone who specializes in skin and hair of color, right? If you don't know where to find that person, no worries. Click on the link down below. If you didn't know, most of the times you can get a scalp evaluation for free, okay? For free or free-ish. Your insurance will pay for it. So most times you're paying a copay or a deductible. That's between you and your insurance. That's not between us, right? And the doctor. But what most women don't know is that you can literally just have someone eyeball or do some testing and check out your scalp to tell you, there may be a deeper problem here. There may be some inflammation. There may be this, there may be that. We need to do further testing. What I never recommend is that you self-treat or self-diagnose, because listen, you don't know what could be happening to your body, and time is hair, right? I heard someone say that on my Supernaturals podcast. You can check it out on the playlist where we interview experts, board certified dermatologists, trichologists, and other experts about hair loss and different things. Check it out, because I'm just gonna be honest with you, even if you're healthy, that baby could have shifted your hormones, and now your hormones are out of whack and you're losing hair because of hormonal reasons. Like I said, there's more reasons, but we're not gonna go into that. So I'm just gonna graze on that, and we're gonna keep it moving, right? Because we can do a whole video on hormonal hair loss, and I believe that I have one. So go check it out, right? On this channel. Back to what I was saying. So I recommend that you get an evaluation, right? Don't skimp. There's places where you can skimp, but if you're gonna take that Louis Chanel money, if you're gonna take that extension money, if you're gonna take that wig money, honey, you got enough to make sure you keep the hair on your head. If you want to. If you don't, that's another story. But you don't even need to do all of that. You can just schedule an appointment, link down below, and we'll match you to someone who's gonna give you a free scalp evaluation. Anyway, so that's step number one. Don't self-diagnose. There may be something deeper, and there may be something there that wasn't there before. Shout out to Beauty and the Beast. And if you don't know, then how are you going to grow? Right? New tagline for Hairscripts. If you don't know how you're gonna grow, okay? We're gonna trademark that. So that's number one, right? How do you identify it? Simple. You're shedding excessively. Like, this is not no normal shed, honey. Like, it's like a haystack. Like, this is not normal. This is not something that looks good. Like you know, your body will tell you, you would say something is not right. This doesn't even look good, right? Okay. So that's usually it. So that's step one as far as what you need to do to treat. So now let's go to, you know, the next steps. And this is not in no particular order. It's more so these are the things that you should be doing. Okay. Now, because let's address the nutrient deficiency, right? Now, if you're breastfeeding, even if you're not, you have given so much of yourself, your life, your body, and soul literally to this baby. You need to replenish that. So my recommendation, you know, and I've heard trichologists say, continue taking prenatal pills up to a year after having baby. Girl, I'm a little extra. I just keep taking prenatal pills. Like, it's been, what, 5 years since my last child, and I'm still taking prenatal pills. Here's my reason. I take prenatal pills instead of a multivitamin because it has the same thing that the multivitamin has in a more concentrated form. The doses are, like I said, is more concentrated because the goal is to deliver the nutrients to you and the unborn child, right? Or soon to be, right? So for me, I need that extra strength, honey. Not only that, but prenatal pills is a perfect cocktail concoction for optimal absorption. What you guys need to understand about what I just said is that you can't just take a whole bunch of pills together and just hope that it's just gonna do what it's supposed to do. Please don't do that. Please don't go and buy vitamin A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then take, what, 26 different vitamins, hoping that it's gonna do what it's gonna do. You need to have the right amount of zinc, the right amount of copper, if there's copper in it, the right amount of iodine, of everything, so that calcium, so that everything will play well with each other, so that it can allow optimal absorption into your body. Because one thing is going to cause your body to open up, the other thing is going to cause it to deliver it into the bloodstream systemically throughout your whole body, so that it can evenly distribute the benefits all over, and that it gets to the extremities, because the extremities are the most challenging parts, and extremities usually don't get love. Extremities are your nails, your hair, everything that's at the tip of your body, that your body tells you that it's not that important. Obviously not as important as your organs, your heart, your vessels, all that stuff, right? Your intestines, etc. And so, because you're gonna need some help getting to those extremities, I would also recommend a hair growth supplement, AKA hair loss vitamins. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and name drop, right? This is not a name drop video. I have a video on the best supplements for hair growth, and you can check that video out because it's gonna give you the ones that I love, all the ones that I love. But I'm gonna name drop because it's very important that you know this. Nutrafol. It is clinically proven to address all the different causes of hair loss, AKA pathways of hair loss. And it's going to make sure that it addresses whatever your issue is, even if you don't know it, right? So for example, if you're dealing with postpartum hair loss, if you're dealing with, you know, nutrient deficiency, if you're dealing with iron deficiency, if you're dealing with stress-related hair loss, and you don't know it, you don't even know it, right? You don't even know it, right? Nutrafol is it has enough adaptogens, it has enough botanicals, and it has enough literature and science behind it that basically it's going to address one or the other. And if you were like me, I had a 4 for 4, honey, okay? A 4 out of 4, meaning every problem that was causing my hair to fall out. If you didn't know, if you're new to this channel, yes, by the way, I was diagnosed with female pattern hair loss and my hair fell out excessively, if not completely, back in 2018. And so hence I started this platform and this community so that women like you and me can still feel good about ourselves while we're on the journey to regrowing and restoring our hair, okay? Quick little story about me. Back to the point. And so my recommendation is Nutrafol. Yes, it is $88. It retails for a lot of money. It's worth it. It's an investment. I'm gonna pay $88 for Nutrafol instead of $88 for some crab legs. I'm just saying. Don't judge me. You know, I mean, if I can ration some crab legs, you know, once a month, some of us, you know, I'm not naming no names, I can ration $88 for some Nutrafol. And if you absolutely can't, if you're a younger baddie or a baddie that is on a budget, baddie on a budget, right? Baddie on a budget is a BB. If you're a B on a B, I'm gonna see if I can link something down below that may not be as dope, Not as safe, as efficacious. No, I'm not gonna say safe, right? It's safe, but you know, it may have something that you may not like. It may have, you know, gluten or something like that, right? Nutrafol is absolutely gluten-free and all the stuff free and all of that, right? It's worth the investment. But again, I'm gonna link a dupe to Nutrafol as close as possible to Nutrafol below so that it can still give you the same benefits, just at maybe a quarter or fraction of the price, okay? If you're a baddie on a budget. Okay, so that's addressing the nutrient deficiency. Let's talk about the stress, right? Again, Nutrafol is good for addressing stress because it has stress adaptogens, meaning stress botanicals in it that literally goes directly to the source, and it helps to kind of mitigate the risk of your body that just went through flight or fight, right? It keeps your body at homeostasis. It keeps your body at zen. Some people have reported in some of their clinical studies that after taking Nutrafol, this is not a Nutrafol, by the way, I'm not sponsored by them. I just personally go in my pocketbook and spend $88 a month on Nutrafol because it's worked for me to thicken my hair, to proliferate my follicles, meaning to create more follicles so that my hair is denser and not as thin. It has done all of the above, sweetie. So this is not a Nutrafol video. I have a ton of those, but I'm just telling you why you want to listen to me, okay? But it does, people have reported feeling more at zen, more control. No, it doesn't have CBD in it, or does it? I don't have it in front of me right now, but I don't believe it has CBD in it. No, it doesn't have that. It doesn't have THC and none of that stuff. But the stress adaptogens, AKA the botanicals that's within it, is specifically designed to target anxiety and stress and all those stress receptors so that it can kind of calm you down, okay? So that's one way. The next way is, honey, you're gonna have to stop stressing. I know, right? That it's like easier said than done, and it is, but you might have to do a self-reflection and evaluation. You're gonna have to take inventory of your life and start chopping out and hacking out the things that are not good for you, the toxicity, you know. And even if that's your baby daddy, you might have to get rid of him, sis, because he's going to cause you to go bald, and I know. Don't ask me how. Maybe another video, but not this one. The point is, you know, you might have to take inventory of your life, and you might have to start making some changes. Things that are not bringing you peace, things that are not serving you, you might need to let them go. And some, like I said, it's easier said than done, but it is time to take inventory of your life because your stress may be a long-term thing. It may have taken you umpteenth years to be as stressed as you are, to have PTSD. And so it might take some time to fix, you know? So I do recommend a therapist. I do recommend, you know, speaking to someone. I do recommend self-care, right? I had Dr. Joelle Ballard on the Supernatural show. She's a board certified OBGYN who talked about how to get that WAP back from a DAP, you know, a dry, you know? If you're dealing with some DAP, then how to get a WAP. But also in that, she talked about doing some self-care treatments or self-care rituals every day. And that's something that is not easy for a lot of us, AKA me. I'm still struggling with 4 children, well, 4 boys, 3 small children. I'm still struggling with finding a way to take care of me every single day, right? And again, I asked her, well, how does that look? You know, what is that? And it's different for everyone, right? So you might have to find your thing. You might have to figure out what brings you peace, what brings you solitude. If it's an hour a day, you're gonna have to carve that out for you. So to sum this up, my prescription, right? My Hairscripts for stress is self-care, right? Inventory of your life, starting to, if possible, remove the toxins, the toxicity out of your life, whether that's a person, a place, or a thing. And, you know, starting to position yourself to be the person that you want. You're looking at this video, you're watching this video right now because you're at that point in your life where you want to be a better version of yourself. So that doesn't just come with beauty. That's just not the exterior, right? That's all encompassing, right? That's the full personal development. And so it's time to look at the personal development wheel. And I might link that somewhere, and start to say, okay, I'm good here, what can I start working on? And I would focus on one thing at a time, attack one demon or one beast at a time, honey. Noah didn't build the ark in, I don't know how long he built it, I'm sorry, but Rome wasn't built in one day, okay? And that's that on that. So that's stress, okay? Now, that's a good segue to the next thing, which is scalp massages. Now, I'm gonna show you really quickly just overall things that you can do to start regrowing your hair, okay? We've had experts on the show that talked about how there is data to support that scalp massages are actually very effective in regrowing your hair. It is not, you know, a YouTube ploy. It's not an influencer ploy to get you to buy some scalp massager on Amazon. And that is true. They did do that. And I was a victim of that. But real scalp massages, not with the little, and I don't, you know, nothing better than these tools right here. These tools are the absolute best tools, okay? Keep your mind out the gutter, guys. Mind out the gutter. You gotta commit. You gotta subscribe to this channel, okay? Subscribe. And go check out that video where I talk about scalp massages. And I go in depth. I show you how to do it because there is a way to do it. But if you're like me, not bougie, but you're, you know, you're rationing your time, or you're actually saying to yourself, you know what, is it time or money? I choose time. I'd rather go somewhere to have them do it. So me, I ration in my budget scalp massages, right? Maybe not every week, but once a month, I'm gonna go and get a real scalp massage from a place. I'll do my scalp massages. It's something that you can do every day. It's something you can do every other day. The more, the better. How does it work? What it's basically doing is it's stimulating hair growth by really getting that blood circulating, and is delivering oxygen to your scalp, okay? And why is that important? Because when the blood circulates, it's delivering nutrients, right, to your follicles. So go back to where I said, you know, sometimes it's hard to get nutrients to the extremities of your body, right? Because systemically, it's really focusing on the parts of your body that's more important. That's why I recommended a hair supplement, so that it can focus on hair specifically, but you also want to massage that scalp to get the blood circulating so that you can get that blood to deliver the nutrients to your follicles. Does it make sense? So that's why delivering nutrients to your follicles, that blood circulating, is excessively wonderful, right? So we want to do that. Next on my list is a healthy diet. I know the baby is already taking all of your nutrients, hence why you're using prenatal pills still, right? You're going to continue your prenatal pills. You're going to add on some hair loss supplements or hair growth supplements, depending on whether you want to see the glass as half full or empty. It's the same thing, tomato, tomato. You're going to start doing scalp massages. You can do it every day or every other day, right? You're gonna start implementing scalp massages because that blood circulation is gonna really stimulate that hair growth. There's data to support that. Please go watch the video so you can get all the details on that. But you're also gonna really up your nutrient game with your food, right? Your diet. Listen, I know you were pregnant and you did what you wanted. Like, you had burgers for breakfast, you had pizza for lunch. I mean, girl, you had oxtails and peas and rice and peas and, girl, listen, let me tell you something. Some days, let me give you this, I'm embarrassed to say, but I'm not. There's some days I just want to get pregnant so I could just eat whatever the hell I want, because sometimes, you know, I intermittent fast as a lifestyle, right? And you know, I eat certain ways. I don't eat gluten as much as I can, right? You know, sometimes I slip up. I'm not celiac, you know, but I still, you know, try to avoid gluten as much as possible. You know, I can't eat bread, I can't eat pasta, you know, I'm just one of them girls that if I eat one grain of rice, I just blow up, right? And so I have a very, I'm not gonna say strict diet, but very disciplined diet, right? A way of life. And it's become such a thing for me that at this point, it doesn't bother me. But there's just days, honey, where I just want, let me get pregnant real quick, just so I can eat whatever the hell I want and not feel bad about it. And when I see myself getting bigger, I just know it's because I had a baby. But now you have to be intentional about your food. I mean, you were supposed to be intentional while you was pregnant, please. But let's just be real. Let's call a spade a spade. Some of us aren't, right? And so you have to be really intentional about what you eat. I'm sorry, I go off on tangents a lot, but the point with that is you want to start doing things like eating nutrient-rich foods, nutrient-dense foods. You want omega-3s, you want fatty acids, you want to eat. Look, I have a whole video. I have a whole video on the best foods for hair growth. So I'm gonna link that video. I'm gonna add it somewhere here. And not only that, but you guys need to go watch that video, because there's foods that are just going to optimize your hair growth. Protein being one of them, eggs, salmon. You want fatty acids like avocados. You know, you want potassium, you know, you want zinc in your food. You want antioxidants, right? You want certain berries, you want certain nuts, certain fruits, certain vegetables. You want spinach, leafy greens. All of that with everything else that I told you to do, I'm telling you, you're gonna wake up one morning, you're gonna take your hair out this bun that you've had for like 2 weeks now, okay? And you're gonna be like, yo, you're gonna wash your hair and be like, where that came from? Wow, like, I mean, and for retention tips, you shouldn't be doing that anyway, but that's another video, another time. The bottom line is you're gonna be like, oh my God, where did that come from? What happened? Like, yes, because you're replenishing the nutrients. And for you nursing mommies, you have to do this even more than anybody else. So I'm just saying, lots of protein, lots and lots and lots of protein. Let's talk about hair growth oils really quickly. Some people believe in them, some people don't. I believe in them because there's data to support that massaging your scalp and using essential oils correctly can regenerate your hair, right? It can proliferate your cells, it can make your hair thicker, it can densen it, and it can also grow your hair. There is clinical data to support that. So I go with the clinical data, right? Now, I believe in making my own. I don't really want to buy everything that's out there because not every oil is created equal. There's different fat proteins in different oils. Some oils are good for you. Some oils are comedogenic, non-comedogenic. That's another video for another time, right? But what I'm going to say to you is there's just some essential oils that you cannot go wrong with, that if you stick with these essential oils, they are clinically proven to regrow your hair. I go with the non-comedogenic carrier oil because you need to mix it with the carrier oil. Otherwise, it can burn your scalp and your actual follicle if you place an essential oil on top of it just like that. And when you massage your scalp with these oils, there is clinical data to support that it does regenerate and it does stimulate hair growth. Absolutely. Now we have another video on, you know, how to awaken the sleepy follicles on your scalp. That's another video, but please check that video out if you feel like there's certain areas of your head that's just not growing hair like it used to. And your follicles just may be tired. They just may be sleepy and you just need to activate those follicles really quickly. And there's a whole video on that. But in that video, it talks a little bit about CBD oils and how there's data to support CBD oils as well. There's a whole other video on that. I don't want to go in depth. This is just really on the surface, the things that you can do. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, you should utilize an oil. How often you use it really is up to you and your hair type. Me personally, I don't do it often because then my hair is just gonna look like straw every day of my life. And plus it smells really strong. And every time I walk into a laundromat or a supermarket, people are kind of looking back at me. And they're not looking back at it because I look cute. They're looking back because I smell like, you know, thyme and I smell like pizza, you know what I'm saying? But my point is, you definitely want to incorporate, you know, an oil, at the very least when you're massaging your scalp, or once a week, right? At the very least. Again, that is based on preference, you know, but the oils do work. And then lastly, let's not over manipulate. Now I can go so in depth, but I'm trying to condense this video. Don't over manipulate your hair. You just had a baby, so now you just want to, this happens, and this is a psychological thing because I have 4 kids, and after each kid, for some reason, I have this desire to chop all my hair off, bleach it yellow blonde, and then dye it red. Like, it's almost like I go through an identity crisis. I don't know if it was borderline postpartum depression, the baby blues, if it's something that internally I don't feel pretty and I just feel like I need something to give me a little bit of zazz and pizzazz. That's not this video, but you know, mental health is very prevalent across hair loss and across beauty altogether, and why we do the things that we do. But I will say this, right? While you might want to put the braids in because it's easier to just throw some braids in your hair and just get the, you know, nurse this baby every morning, roll out of bed, co-sleep with the baby, you're exhausted. You probably don't even want to hear this to the end because you're just like, girl, I'm exhausted. Like, I get it, right? But let's not over manipulate our hair. There are ways to use protective styles styling that will actually protect your hair. I'm not a big proponent of protective styling because not all protective styles are created equal. Some things that you think are protective is causing more harm than good. And then there's most reasons is people throw their hair up in that protective style and don't do anything to their hair ever, to their scalp. They don't moisturize, they don't hydrate, and their hair is just turning into a brittle mess underneath that, and then wonder why all of it broke off and there's no length retention. That's another video on length retention. You can check that out on this channel as well. The point is, the bottom line is subscribe, because I got a lot of tea on this channel if you ain't already figured that out. But the point is, don't over manipulate. You know, if you want to put braids in, that's fine. Knotless is the best way to go. Make sure it's not heavy. If it feels like it's tugging and pulling and ripping, it is. If it's heavy, that's not good. That's not normal. And if you say, well, it's transient, right? It's going to be heavy in the beginning and it's going to go away. That's because more than likely it already pulled. It did the damage that it needed to do. So it's just hanging off, right? It's just hanging for dear life. That's not good. Saying that it's going to be tight in the beginning and it's not going to be tight anymore, that's actually not good. And we learned that from our experts on this show. So I say all that to say, find you something that is very, very low manipulation, girl. Just go free, just go curly, go kinky. Just embrace what it is, you know, put it in, you know, 2 braids, make it cute, make it light, make it free, be pretty, be beautiful, embrace your body during the season. It's going to change, and those melons that you got that you never had before will also go away. I'm sorry, but your hair will come back. So with all that being said, that is this video. I wish I could give you a part 2 because there's so much. There is a plethora of information on how to regrow your hair, and I'm sure I didn't give it all to you here. I try to address the things that are specific to postpartum hair loss, but please subscribe to this channel. Like and comment. Let me know if I said anything that really sparked something in you that's gonna really inspire you to, you know, keep your health where it needs to be, even though you just had baby, so that you can get your edges back. But also go check out all the videos in this channel because it goes in depth about everything that you could possibly do to regrow your hair, regardless of what your problem is. All right. So that's it for now, baddies. Love you. Bye.